Hello, that doesn't look like it's necessarily the best angle, but we're just gonna go with it. So I wanted to go live and tell you some of my best tips and tricks for a really good color sheet application that will last. So I wrote down some notes so I wouldn't forget to tell you anything. But the very first thing you want to do, so I'm not going to do these right now. You can see I still have nails on, but I did put these to the side for myself. So even if you have your house set to 70 degrees or 75 degrees, these can actually be kind of cold. So what you want to do before, well, it doesn't matter what order, but you want to make sure that you are warming these. I can feel that they're kind of cold. If the nail strips themselves are cold, that could potentially lead to cracking, and you don't want that. So you definitely want to make sure that you are warming them. The warming will it will last a little bit, but make sure that they're warm. I've sat on them before, not gonna lie, just stick them under my bottom and go about what I'm doing, but warm them maybe, I don't know, 3 to 4 minutes, just to make sure that they are warm and they are not cold enough that they are gonna crack. So you want to, for best results, wash your hands with soap and water. I have said before that it's optional, and it totally is. You just want to make sure you're focusing on the nail, but may as well get rid of all oils as much as you can, so that way when you're applying the nails there isn't anything left over. So wash your hands with soap and water. Make sure you haven't applied lotion recently, and you don't want to apply lotion for at least an hour after, if not longer, if you can wait. That way the lotion isn't seeping back under the nails. So alcohol with one of our alcohol strips, or what I will do a lot of times is I just have a bottle of alcohol with a cotton swab, and I use that because it's wetter than what our strip is. Our strips are not overly wet, which is a good thing because it's not as much of a mess, but I just want to make sure that I've really got all the oils gone. So I will alcohol. I am completely going out of order here. So this is a buffer. So excuse me that I'm out of order with all these tips and tricks, but these are things that you're going to want to do. So before you alcohol, and even before you wash your hands probably, you want to buff your nails. If you do not have one of these, they're fairly inexpensive, but what I do is let's see, can you see? It's probably backwards. That says buff. So I will take the buff side and scratch up my nails. I then don't go through and polish and shine. I leave them a little bit scratched up so that the nail polish strip has more to adhere to. That's not necessary, but I have found that for me, it gives me a better manicure when I have the buffed nail. So you probably want to do the buffed nail and push back your cuticles and file and all that before you even wash your hands. So I'm a little bit out of order here, but so I have the buffer. I'm just looking at my nails and I'm sorry, or my notes. I'm sorry, they're not in order. I have little cuticle pushers that I can give you or send you if you need. You can get one of these at the dollar store, at the drugstore, whatever. They're fairly inexpensive. Okay, so when let's start from the beginning. You're going to cut, file, do whatever you need with your nails, push back the cuticles, buff them if that's what you want to do. Wash your hands really well with soap and water, then take the alcohol to your nails. So something that I almost always forget, it's so silly of me, when you are applying your nails, do your thumbs and your pointers last. Because if you are the type of person who is going to use your thumb or your pointer to take off the rest, you don't want to already have your thumb and pointer finger done, because then you take the chance of messing it up. So thumb and pointer finger last. That is the one thing that I always forget, and I always get so mad at myself that I don't do it. So let me check my notes. You can also use a file to gently file down on the nails. I typically only do that on my very last thumb. When I've got all the rest of my nails done and I don't want to take the chance of messing up a nail, I will use the file on my thumb. You can use the alcohol prep pad for the end, or you can use a cotton ball with alcohol, but you want to make sure that you are alcoholing. At the end, when all of your nails are done, I actually will put a nail on and then put some alcohol on. Put a nail on and put some alcohol on. You can wait until the end. I double do it again at the end, but make sure you are using either one of our prep pads or just a cotton ball with alcohol, it's really important to put the alcohol on. Not only does it help dry out, but if you look at, let me just grab one of my samples real quick. If you look at the strips, this is all factory sealed in there. When we cut it off, because we've put it on our nail, we break the factory seal, if you want to think of it that way. So by putting alcohol on the tip, then we're helping to not reseal it, but just make sure that it dries faster and we're less likely to have wear on the tips. So that is really important, to make sure that you are alcoholing and alcoholing the tips. Try not to put lotion on for at least 2 hours. I usually wait longer, which is really hard because I love to have lotion on my hands, but you don't want that seeping back under and re-moisturizing the nail, which you were trying to have dry out the polish. If you see some wear, you can take a nail file your nails down a little bit and re-alcohol again. That's a good way to make the manicure last a little bit longer. So let's go over the tips one more time since I was all over the place. We are going to cut and file our nails, push back our cuticles if we want, buff. Some of these steps are optional, but buff to give a scratched surface for the nails to apply to a little bit better. Wash your hands with soap and water. Then I put my prep bag back. Alcohol your nails. Put the nails on. Thumbs and pointers last, so that way you can use those to help you shape if needed. Then, most importantly, alcohol again at the end. So hopefully some of these tips and tricks have helped. Maybe I've mentioned something. Oh, I forgot, warming the pads. Maybe I have said something that you haven't thought of before or haven't tried, and hopefully some of these tips will help you get a better application. So let me know if they work. Bye.